Midship amusement. What does that mean?
It's mid-engine, and it's amusing.
We're going 60.
That's not 60 right there.
All right, James brought himself a new car out here. Should we go take a look at it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Pretty sweet, dude. That thing is tiny. All right, dude, what is this thing?
Honda BEAT,
What year?
1991. Imported from Japan.
Just recently, right? Like you're the first owner in the States?
No, I'm the second owner.
Okay.
Guy in Nashville.
Oh, okay, you bought it off a guy.
Correct.
I got you. I thought you got
way
it.
easier.
Yeah, I would imagine. Here we go, this little door handle here.
Factory seats.
Are those really
Those
like
are
it?
factory seats. The entire car is factory except for the wheels and the exhaust.
Yeah, let's talk about these tires real quick because they are. What are they even 155s? What are they?
Yeah.
165 on a
The factories are
16
14
inch.
staggered. These are 16. Look at those calipers. Look at the rotors.
Oh, they're not
It's
even
a
vented.
solid rotor in the front.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that's not going to stay the same.
No, I imagine.
Because the front pads are only available in Japan. So I'm going to change the front rotors and calipers and pads. The rears are all from a Civic.
Yeah, I thought those were pretty familiar. Those are pretty similar to
The
mine.
caliper's a little bit different, but it's the same size. So pads are interchangeable, rebuild kits are interchangeable, but the e-brake mechanism is a little bit different shape. But the rotor and the pads is the same. For
Let's,
what, 2000 Civic Si?
Yeah, which is crazy because this is a 91, you said?
Yep.
And those are almost identical to what's on my car.
Yep.
What's underneath the hood? Not an engine up here.
Well, that's the front.
This is going to be funny here in a minute because this tube here is to fill the radiator, and the one that I saw in the back earlier is not as big. That fills the engine oil. It has air conditioning and everything.
It has air conditioning, power windows. It has speakers in the doors, but the radio's been deleted. The radio was an option from the factory. No EPS, no power steering.
I do like that they
The
clearly
front.
had some issues here, so they were just like, just put the fender liner on the hood. Oh man, this thing's gonna be so fun. The shadows in the way. All right, let's go back here to the part that everybody's gonna want to hear about. That you can't really see.
Yep, you can't see it all, but it's there.
What is it?
3-cylinder, 656 cc. Makes 63 horsepower from the factory. I don't know if it still makes that.
Has anything been done to it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge. My
Well-
understanding is everything inside that is factory. EO7A is the engine code.
We'll change that.
We'll change it. There is an EO7Z, which was turbocharged, and that was available in some other small cars in Japan. This is the EO7A, which never was turbocharged.
Is it similar to any other Civic engines, like a D series or anything like that?
That you would be more
Dude, the
able to
block.
answer, because I don't know.
The back of the block is here, and the
Yes, it
front
is
of the
tiny.
block is like right here.
It is tiny.
Oh my gosh. It's tough to see. I don't know if the camera's like picking it up all that well, but the part I was bringing up about the radiator cap is this is the oil fill cap, and it goes into that hose right there.
It is rear wheel drive. I don't know if you can see the drive shafts down there,
Yeah, yep, you sure can.
but it is a riot. It is a slow riot.
Dude, I've had more fun in some of my old crappy CRVs than I ever did in my Civic,
Yes.
so
Yes.
fire it up real quick. Let's hear this. It's on the other side. Yeah, you gotta go that way. Oh, you new here? It sounds so good. It actually sounds really good.
It goes to 9,000 RPM.
9,000. Well, I have a GoPro. All right. Oh my God, I shouldn't have worn work boots. It's almost like it's in here with us.
It kind of is. It's 1,600 pounds, so with a passenger, you definitely notice. Goes to the
floor. This sounds so good. Oh my gosh, that sounds good. We're going 60.
That's about 60 right there.
Dude, but the sound it makes alone
I know, right?
is enough to make it work. Like, I feel like we're going 100.
That's so good. Well, in KPH we are. Wayne, where are you? You're in the middle or on the right side as well.
Actually, I'm on the right side of the center of the road. So,
Here's less than half a lane.
yeah, you can run 4 of these sideways down the highway easily.
You gonna drive?
Yeah, kind of do. Kind of do.
I was gonna say, it'd be dumb if you didn't.
Alright, trade places with James here.
Still there.
Just get out of the car. This is practice. I need the practice for my upcoming.
Your upcoming beat.
A little bit different than a beat.
You mean all-wheel drive and a little bit faster?
This is the most fun I've ever had on 63 horsepower.
No.
3,000 feet away. Are we gonna make it?
Yes. With all those throttle bodies.
Everything about this thing feels right.
It feels right, right? That's why I don't know if I want to do an engine swap. I like the engine. I just want more power out of it.
I initially thought you should, but there's no way.
No.
We need to put a turbo on this thing with a sound creator so you still hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds so good, dude.
You just need a little bit more power out of this just because it's US roads, not Japan roads.
Japanese city streets.
Yeah.
I do love it's got an actual metal bed pedal down here. There's some serious racing heritage in this car.
Yes, there is.
Oh my god, it just sounds so
It's
good.
the last car that Soichiro Honda like approved himself.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, it's a good one.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that Honda's ever made that was more fun than this that wasn't a crotch rocket is probably the NSX.
Yeah.
Probably.
Agreed.
I don't know of any other Honda that's this fun.
Yeah, it's a little difficult.
Oh my god, thank you, James, for
You're
allowing me to beat the hell out of yours.
Just wait till we improve everything and then you get to race it. So if I'm autocrossing it, I'm not doing it by myself.
Yeah, no, I definitely come and at least help. Oh my god. I just want to hear it. You like it, James? Is it your favorite?
Hell yeah. You can palm the tire. Yep. Need the bath.
How long have you wanted one of these?
About a year.
Really?
Not very long.
All right, got this thing up in the air. We're looking at it, and it's actually really, really nice under here.
Oh yeah, it is.
Surprisingly,
Pretty
1991 from Japan. I mean, they spray salt same as we do.
Pretty excited about
And
it.
it is super clean. We do need to figure out what that rattle up top was, though, because that's nothing suspension related. That's something more like a heat shield or something up top there.
Or a
but
jack or something.
that could be the jack, yeah. Just something rattling, but AC condenser and radiator. The AC work? Have you tried it yet?
It feels like it blows cold air, but I don't know if it's AC cold.
Look at that. That's EC. That's the engine coolant too. But I don't know if that's the only one. There's got to be one on the engine. That's got to be like an ECT2. That's kind of cool. That was something that kind of went away and then came back in, I don't know, like the early 2000s.
Like the monitoring coolant?
Yeah, this is like I don't know, I mean, don't quote me, but it was like thermostat efficiency can be measured off of that. Try and keep the engine up to temp so everything was, you know, emissions compliant, but there's probably more to it than that, so I'm an idiot, but don't trust me. Let me see that. What's up here? This thing's wild, dude.
Look at how nice this looks. It's painted that.
In case you had to
Oil
wonder
pan.
if this tiny little 3-cylinder was a Honda, there's the head right there. This engine's at like more than 45 degrees.
It's got the Honda logo on there. I mean, that's a nice little oil pan.
Stuff they just
cover.
don't do anymore, right? Like
Yeah.
now all of our oil pumps have like a cutout for an electric pump at the bottom. They're just like, nah, just use it on all of them. Sorry, I shouldn't be talking crap. It's
There's a little bit of...
torque mount there.
Those should be pretty rigid, right?
No, they're all right. The exhaust is aftermarket on this car, and it looks like maybe not on this side, but maybe on the inlet side from the engine, it got a little warm and there's some cracking around the weld there. But that's nothing a turbo won't fix. Dude, when you
Where's
get
the turbo going?
right here, dude, look at all that space right there. If you get rid of that manifold and this cat, you've got space. Dude, we could even put 2 in there, no problem.
Oh my god, I don't know if I want.
But no, seriously, I mean, you could fit a really small turbo in there, no problem. Seriously.
What is this guy?
It's a little log manifold. That is a good question.
Sensor?
Sure is, yeah. That is an O2 sensor, or maybe an EGT. It looks like an EGT. I don't know. I've never seen anything like that.
What's this one then?
Never seen that. That's the oxygen sensor.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, that's the AF sensor. The LAF, I believe, is what we call them now. I don't know what they called them then.
Sorry, the shadow.
So that's like measuring your air fuel ratio essentially, or your lambda, and then this is measuring. It must have been EGT. I've never seen an O2 sensor look like that. But yeah, that's fine. We're just gonna get rid of all that.
It's not very complicated.
I'm serious. This is big enough area to fit. I mean, like 2 footballs in without coming down below the floor.
Like intercooler and stuff like that.
Water to air, brother. No
so
problem.
You just, what, do you put a new radiator or do you pump normal coolant through it?
No, you'd have to put a sub radiator up here.
So there's like 2 coolant systems?
It's a heat exchanger, yeah. And when you know it, you've got space for all sorts of stuff up here.
Yeah.
Dude, there's like, what? My whole hand's, and I'm not even touching anything. There's nothing in there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no problem.
And then we would just pipe additional coolant lines through with these?
Just some AN lines, flexible ANs, and then it looks like, is there space? Yeah, there's space down through here for a couple of them. One here, and then just zip tie it in between the, if you come back here, you can see a bracket in there, that little U bracket.
Yeah.
Just zip tie them in between that, it'd be fine. They're smaller than this.
Okay.
And then put the water to air, probably small enough right here, but then I don't know where your throttle body or where your inlet is. But I can't find your air box. So there's the air box up there. It's tough to see. I don't know where the inlet is, but we'd have to, oh, I see the inlet from here. So we'd have to get, it's clear over on the other side. Let me grab a flashlight. Yeah, water to air intercooler kit. Like you could get a cheap one for this because you're not running a bunch of boost and just okay, and kind of get everything started and then just fix the weak points when you find them. But right there, why isn't it focusing? There we go. That's the inlet right in the center of the flashlight to the manifold that essentially feeds the individual throttle bodies. So that probably, oh, that's the air filter box. And then it's aluminum behind that, dude. Yeah. Yeah, let's crank this up. But it looks like, I mean, in all seriousness, coming around this side is where we need to get the air to. For now, I don't know if that would change later, but getting it up through there might be a little challenging.
Getting air into that area?
Getting the pressurized air up to that space. We'd probably have to go.
Oh, like pumping the guys.
Yeah, the actual
air
boost
pipe,
pressure.
Charge air piping is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, where there's a wills, there's a way. You're missing a bolt right here. We need to. Right there.
I see.
It's for the cat mount. We should actually just take that one out and let this whole thing fall off the car. That'd be fine.
I mean, it's the rustiest thing under here.
All right, so this is the trunk and the little guy. You guys saw it earlier, but now that we're a little more familiar with the bottom of the car, I got my flashlight here. Now that we're a little bit more familiar with the bottom of the car, we'd have to find a way to get a probably 2-inch pipe.
The 2-inch charge air pipe needs to go here, right? Or no?
Well, I think this is the air filter box. So I think honestly that whole thing could go, because where does that go? Up to that vent?
I'm pretty sure it would go up to this vent.
Can't see it. But I'm pretty sure.
Oh, see like an inlet thing there.
Oh, look at this. You can take this little panel out and get to the air box. So yeah,
this panel out.
That's where the air filter is. So that whole thing would go because the air filter would be on the front of the turbo.
Yeah.
And it would just be little guy down towards the ground. But getting the pipe up here I mean, there's plenty of space on the bottom to get it like through up to here, but the problem is there's space between the ground.
Right.
Well, it depends. Are we running the exhaust out the back of the car, or are we dumping it?
What, straight down?
Oh, you heard me. Because we could run the charge pipe right alongside it right there. Like that could take the place, and then the whole intercooler assembly could be back here. Or
pull this on top up to the top of the engine.
Do you want to?
You could look a lot better at what's available.
All right.
I feel like there's going to be space available up top.
Let's pull this off top then. All right, so
Less than a foot from the driver.
there's something interesting here. That cover right there is almost identical to an old D15. And what's funny to me is the D15 had this black head cover with the spark plugs coming out the back of it, right? Well, this is a 3-cylinder. The D15 was a 4-cylinder. And then it also came on an engine called, I think it was the G25? And it was a 5-cylinder. Maybe it was a G23. I don't remember exactly what engine that was, but it came on another engine. So this head cover came in 3, 4, and 5-cylinder variations, which is really cool. But there's the M-Track system. I don't know what that is, but it's definitely not VTEC. You can't have VTEC with a head cover like this.
Multi-throttle response something.
Interesting.
What's that big airbox thing?
That's the pipe there. So honestly, if we could figure out how to get that charge pipe just up into this cavity, which moving some of this stuff is no big deal. Those are just junction connectors there. This is a pass-through, and then that's a junction. I mean, they all move. So we could honestly run it right here and run it right back to the airbox.
Is that all soft tubing or hard?
This is all plastic.
No, I'm saying the stuff we'd be adding.
Oh, it'd be hard tubing. It'd be aluminum. So we could manipulate it. We could smash it in areas if we had to. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. You don't want to smash it too much, but little 3-cylinder D series essentially. What'd you say this thing's engine code is again?
EO7A.
EO7A. It makes sense that it's an E, right?
All the stuff is right there.
The 07 part's a little different. Oh, no, it's not. EO7. It's a 0 liter, 7.7 liter.
Yep.
So yeah, it makes perfect sense. So there was the E, the D, the E, and the G. So it was D was a 4-cylinder variation of this engine, D1515, E07, 0.7 liter.
Yeah.
That's hysterical to me. That's incredible. I don't know why I find that so interesting, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
It is weird to me though that they, oh, I know what I heard. The multi-throttle response electronic control, I think is what that stands for. So this right here, this is your source of vacuum to your fuel pressure regulator. And then this goes to essentially what is a boost control solenoid, but it's just meant to kind of control the amount of pressure going to this, and maybe, I think it adds a little bit of fuel pressure maybe. I don't know, maybe not, but regardless, it definitely has something to do with the fueling because this teed-in line runs right to what will be repurposed as a boost control solenoid. Once we figure out how to tune it. Let's see what's under here that we could repurpose. I honestly think a water to air is going to be your best option. It'll be, because there's not really going to be any airflow back there for an intercooler. A lot of guys with MR2s figured out how to do it, but I found the source of your noise. Okay, so that is your duct, it looks like. And we could relocate this with just a couple of simple AN lines with a couple special fittings. We could put this wherever we wanted, somewhere over here, whatnot, and then make all of this free for a heat exchanger. You could probably put a heat exchanger in here that was way oversized for a car this size.
Yeah.
So definitely usable space down here, but as far as moving the fuel cell, maybe not as feasible. We'll be blocking off quite a bit of the airflow to the engine, unless you didn't want air conditioning, but it'd be pretty cool to still have that.
Yeah. I want everything factory. We're just adding options, not deleting them.
Yeah. So if we're being serious about doing this, moving this, no big deal, honestly, really easy. AN lines, and then, or we could still do hard lines, but an AN lines just could be easier. And we could put it somewhere over here, somewhere here, and then open up all that space, put the heat exchanger here, run the tubes out somewhere down to the back, that go to the intercooler at the back. The pump could go up here easily, and then bam, you got yourself a water air intercooler. Honestly,
Sweet.
pretty simple. This thing is so cool at every turn. It's like they planned for some idiots like us to get our hands on it. It's a bunch of emission stuff we can delete. There we go. There you go, dude. 1991 Honda Beat Turbo Kit Prep.